अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Srimad Bhagavad Gita chapter 17 verse 3 Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddha mayo ayam purusho Yo yat shraddha sa eva saha. O descendant of Bharat, everyone's faith is determined by the disposition of their inner mental state. Every person has faith, and they develop a disposition corresponding with the worshipful object of their faith. In the previous verse, Shri Krishna explained that one's faith is formed based on the impressions from the previous lives. So the type of activities that one has performed, whether those were in mode of goodness, passion or ignorance, one's faith in this life will be according to those modes. Now Shri Krishna is explaining in this verse that everyone has faith, but that faith is based on the state of their mind. And as we discussed last time, the mind is part of the subtle body that carries the impressions from previous lives, not one life or two lives, but since time immemorial, since we have been in the material world. The mind has been with us as part of the subtle body that covers the soul. So the state of the mind, the mental state, its disposition determines what type of faith a person will have, and then according to that faith he worships a certain type of deity. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur states that the word Sattvam refers to the internal sense, the mind or chitta. So this internal sense or the mind is of three types. It is in goodness, which is called sattvic, in passion, which is rajasic, or ignorance, which is tamasic. A person whose heart is in the mode of goodness or sattvic mode possesses sattvic faith or faith in the mode of goodness. A person whose heart is in the mode of passion possesses rajasic faith or faith in the mode of passion. And similarly, one whose heart is tamasic has tamasic faith or faith in the mode of ignorance. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur states that Krishna is saying, O Bharat, O Arjun, everyone has faith. So everything that we do, it is out of some faith. Say you are sitting in your house, in your room, and you have faith that the ceiling will not fall on your head. Because of that faith only, you are comfortably sitting in the house. If you didn't have faith in the quality of the construction of the house, you would be not at peace. You will always be worried about what if the roof collapses. Similarly, when you drive the car, you have faith in the manufacturer that he has built the car correctly. It will not fall apart when you are driving. So faith is an important element of our life. Everything that we do has faith, but that faith is either of mundane category or transcendental category. So it is called Lokik Shraddha, which is mundane faith, and that mundane faith is of three types: mode of goodness, mode of passion, and ignorance. Now, this faith, how it develops, as Krishna is saying, that a person's faith corresponds with his disposition of mind, and it develops according to the nature of the deity he has placed his faith in. So there are many different types of deities, and their worship is also in the modes of goodness, passion, or ignorance. So depending on what type of deity one is worshipping and what is the nature of that worship, it determines that person's state of mind. Because based on the state of mind, based on that internal mood of the person, he will have attraction for worshipping a certain type of deity. And again, this mood or this nature develops based on the impressions from the previous life. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj states in the commentary that the word Shraddha or faith is very significant in this verse. Shraddha or faith originally comes out of the mode of goodness. One's faith may be in a demigod or some created god or some mental concoction. One's strong faith is supposed to be productive of works of material goodness. So, the faith that leads to success in life, even from a material perspective, is the faith that comes from good work. But in material conditional life, no works are completely purified, they are mixed. They are not in pure goodness. Pure goodness is transcendental. In purified goodness, one can understand the real nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there is faith in these three modes, but beyond these is the faith in pure goodness, and this is called Nirgun faith. It is this faith which is beyond the three modes of material nature that propels us on the path of bhakti. We discussed this last time also, that when someone, because of their past sukritis, activities that are done in relation to the Lord, when one accumulates a lot of such sukritis and then comes into contact with a sadhu, a saintly devotee, then that Shraddha that develops, the faith that develops, is Nirgun or transcendental faith. And with that faith, when he follows the instructions of the pure devotees, the spiritual master, and engages in devotional service, then his heart, his chitta, starts becoming purified. But as long as one's faith is not completely in purified goodness, the faith is subject to contamination by any of the modes of material nature. The contaminated modes of material nature expand to the heart. Therefore, according to the position of the heart in contact with a particular mode of material nature, one's faith is established. It should be understood that if one's heart is in the mode of goodness, his faith is also in the mode of goodness. So if your heart is soft, you are compassionate towards other living entities, then you will be very charitable. Your faith would be in activities which are in mode of goodness. For example, helping others, not hurting anyone, doing charitable activities. And similarly, if someone's heart is in the mode of passion, a very aggressive person, and always desiring to make money and use that money for making one more powerful, more famous, and enjoy more, then such a person's faith will also be in the mode of passion. So he will have interest and faith in very business oriented activities, very materialistic activities which lead to fruitive results where he can make a lot of money or become very, very powerful. He would not have much faith in sharing his wealth with others. And if the heart is in the mode of darkness, meaning that because of the past impressions, the heart is only interested in sinful activities like hurting others, stealing, intoxication, illicit relationships, this is mode of darkness. Then his faith will also be like that. He will only engage in such activities. So thus we find different types of faith in this world, and there are different types of religion due to different types of faith. So because of this, we have religions in which one people worship ghosts, and they worship using all kind of impure things. These are faiths in the mode of ignorance. Similarly, there are religions, so-called religions, they are actually such faiths which are again not based on any Vedic or scriptural injunctions, but have been created by one's whimsical ideas. So there are such so-called religions which are in mode of passion. Then those which are in mode of goodness. But bhakti or pure devotion to the Lord is above all of these. Why? Because the soul originally is pure, and the original nature of the soul is to love the Supreme Lord. This is the constitutional nature of the Jiva. Jiva is Surup hai Krishner Nityadas, and that is the eternal religion of the soul. The religion is nothing but the eternal nature of the Jiva, as explained by Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaiv Dharam. That is called Nitya Dharam or eternal religion. Here also Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that Krishna is saying that in reality the living entity is without material qualities, being constitutionally my ansha or part. So because we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and we are in quality the same as Him, so therefore in reality we are absolutely pure. We have no material contamination. But because of having forgotten our relationship with the Supreme Lord, we have become bound by the modes of nature. As we were discussing last time also, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it states, Krishna bhuli se jeev anadir bahirmukh ataiv maya tare de sansar dukh. From time immemorial, because of being averse to the Supreme Lord, because of having forgotten our loving relationship with Him. Why is that aversion? Because we want to enjoy like Him but independent of Him. So therefore we fall into this material world and have been suffering here since time immemorial. So that materialistic nature is acquired as a result of past impressions formed at the time of becoming averse to Krishna, and it is this aversion that molds the nature or disposition of the mind. So this process of forming impressions which are not favorable to the Lord has started from a very, very long time. In many, many lives we have been engaged in activities to enjoy our senses, our physical senses. And we have been committing actions in all these modes of goodness, passion and ignorance. So because of that, our mind now has so many impressions, and the disposition of the mind is towards one of these modes. Now generally, one will have mixed modes. You will have times of being in mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, but one of the modes is prominent, and that's what dictates your nature. Shri Gurudev also explains this in the commentary, stating that a living entity's inherent asset is the faith or rati he has in his constitutional position. So this is the most important asset that we have. And till we get back to this remembrance, till we get back to the understanding and have that faith in our constitutional position that I am the eternal servant of the Lord, till that time we keep struggling in the material world. And when one develops that faith, then he is not concerned about anything. Because he knows that if I am performing bhakti to Krishna, then everything will be taken care of. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it states, Shraddha Shabde Vishwas Kahe Sudrud Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. So this is the Shraddha that a devotee has. What is that Shraddha? It is Sudrud Nishchay, fixed determination that if I am performing bhakti to Shri Krishna, then sarva karma krit hoy, then all other duties, all my other responsibilities, everything else is taken care of. I'm not obliged to do anything else. So that faith, that such a faith in our constitutional position is related to Bhagwan only, and it is unquestionably beyond the modes of nature. So when one develops such Shraddha, that if I am working for Krishna, if I am engaging in his loving devotional service, then everything else is taken care of. But however, in the bound state, now to get to that Shraddha of faith is not easy, because of the contamination that we have from the previous lives. So Shri Gurudev states that in the bound state, the constitutional nature of the living entity becomes distorted. And this distortion, because of association with the material nature, gives rise to nimittic dharam or temporary faiths or religions. And that is the reason why we see so many different religions in the world. The living entities are in quality the same. They are Satchidanand. So the religion is also only one. But because of association with material nature, and because of having different types of impressions over over long period of time, therefore we have developed different types of faith, and as a result created different types of religions. So when the living entity associates with matter and consequently performs either auspicious or inauspicious activities, the result is distorted faith. And this faith is known as faith in mode of goodness, passion or ignorance, in accordance with who that living entity's worshipable deity is. But when the mind is purified, right? So as we were discussing, that when one comes into contact of devotees and his mind is purified, then that results in fearlessness, because then one is convinced that Krishna is my protector, and if I am worshipping him, if I am engaging in his service as per the order of my Guru, then they will take care. There is nothing that I have to fear about. This was the faith that Prahlad had. And therefore, even though being just a 5-year-old child, he was completely fearless and had no fear of his father Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was such a ferocious demon that even the demigods were not able to stand in front of him. He had imprisoned all of them, even Indra, the king of heaven. But this little boy, because of his complete surrender to the Lord, because of his complete faith in the Supreme Lord, he was fearless. The faith of a purified heart is the seed of bhakti, which is nirgun, meaning it is beyond the modes of nature, whereas the faith of an impure heart is sagun, bound by the modes. As long as this faith does not become nirgun, meaning as long as it does not rise above the three modes of material nature, or is directed towards the Supreme Lord who is Nirgun, beyond the modes, it is called lust. So therefore, other types of faith, the mundane faith, will only lead to materialistic activities. So we have to come to the platform of pure goodness, to the platform of Nirgun faith. And that is only possible if one associates with the devotees and follows their instructions and engages in the loving devotional service of the Lord. So when you have this such an opportunity, don't let it go by. It is after many lifetimes that we have been fortunate that we have received the association of devotees. We have received the true commentaries on Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam by our Gaudiya Vaishnavacharyas. So let's not become confused. Let's not deviate from this path, and with one pointed faith commit ourselves to developing our Krishna consciousness. And the foremost process for that is the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe, have a very blessed day.